Hi, ma'am. Thanks for joining us and sparing out some time with us. So, you have also had your own journey as a woman, like from being called as a chairman to then becoming a chairperson. And now today Godrej has come up with this National Talent Forum. So, what has been your take on this initiative that Godrej has taken, first of all? And apart from that, what are the key issues that you think women are currently facing in the workplace especially?
So first and foremost, my compliments to Godrej for coming up with this fantastic initiative. Many such initiatives are required in order to put forward the issues that women face. If you ask me what are the issues that women are facing today, they are multiple. So they are not new either. It's not as though these are issues that they have faced today. They've been facing them for a while. But I think the most important are the fact that they are still the primary caregivers in most places. So they have issue regarding the tension between ensuring wellness for their families as well as excelling at work. The way of going about that is to, of course, get help from the place they're working, from their families, from their ecosystem, so to speak. So you need teams both at workplace and at home in order to help you out. The second issue I think that they're facing nowadays, at least that I see, is the fact that a lot of women face what they believe is discrimination, in the sense that they are not given the same kind of weightage that they believe they should get when it comes to advancement, when it comes to progression in their careers. Many of them feel stymied about that. Many of them feel they don't get the right opportunities, that they are positioned in a manner that doesn't give them the ability to showcase their potential. So they will get back office positions instead of front office ones. They will not get the prime, position, so to speak, merely because sometimes people don't believe that they will be able to give their everything for the job and that they will prioritize family at some point of time. So I think these are two primary issues. If we can get past these, I think a lot of the problems will be solved. Of course, there are other issues of women feeling safe in the workspace, women feeling that they have the voice to be able to speak. Many of these are there. The women themselves also need to sort of push their boundaries. They need to be able to take up challenges. They cannot sit back and expect things to be handed over to them. Okay, so I think it is an initiative that needs to be taken from both ends. But at the end of the day, yes, they do have challenges, and we do need to recognize them and do something about it.
And ma'am, at Salesforce, what are the steps or measures have you taken to provide a safe environment and stable environment for women so that they can trust the people they are working with?
So this is something that was already there in Salesforce. It's not something that I have had to do. We have very strong grievance redressal mechanisms. We have whistleblower abilities. We take any cases that come under POSH very, very seriously. There is a lot of counseling that is also provided to them, apart from the grievance redressal portion of it. There are a lot of enablements that we do in order to help people understand that what are microaggressions, what are the kinds of things they should not be doing, and what are the kinds of things that enables you to recognize this and step up and talk about it. There is also, an unconscious bias training that all of us go through in order to realize what could be the biases. We also have done a few other things that are not done globally, things like return to work program. This is a program for women who have left their careers for 2 years or more and would like to now come back. So we do a certification course for them, update their skills, and then see how many of them can be absorbed into our company or into some of the other collaborators we have across the ecosystem. So that return to work program is also quite popular, actually, because it really enables people to step back in. We are looking at ways in order to make work flexible flexible and hybrid for some of our people who would like to, or not like to, who would need to be at home at certain points of time, and yet they don't want to fall back in their career by continuing to contribute. So there are multiple initiatives, but I must say that as an organization, they already had many of these initiatives, not something that I have done individually myself, but we have ensured that they are properly implemented, understood, and these are accessible for all.
And ma'am, you have been associated with both the public sector and the private sector, and with Salesforce, you're again tapping into the public sector. So how is it different for women in the private sector and the public sector, especially when we talk about the issues associated at workplace?
So, public sector and private sector, as I said, have some basic differences. And those basic differences, they can work in favor or against. One thing about the private sector is that you can lose your jobs. In the public sector, more or less, if you've not done anything wrong, jobs will be secure. But will you realize your ambition? Maybe not. Okay, so there are issues both in the private sector as well as in the public sector. There are advantages to both as well. In the private sector, for instance, you can have a lot of flexibility, which sometimes is not available in the public sector. If you're in a public sector, and especially I was in a bank, for instance, a bank branch needed to be opened. It didn't matter whether there was COVID, didn't matter whether anything else was on. In the private sector, however, there are many ways in which you can do things remotely, or you can be positioned in a way that remote is possible. So to go into all of the details will take me another whole session, which I just don't have time for today. But I would say that both have their pros and cons. You need to determine which in your circumstance fits you better and go for it accordingly.